Welcome back to True Mystery, your daily stop for the world's most baffling enigmas. Imagine being utterly alone, miles from civilization, then vanishing without a trace. That's exactly what happened at the remote Lighthouse, a mystery that has baffled investigators for over a century. What truly happened to the three keepers who disappeared from their post, leaving behind an untouched meal and an eerie silence? Today, we're sailing into the storm to investigate one of history's most chilling unsolved cases. Our story begins in the Flannan Isles, a desolate cluster of windswept rocks off the rugged west coast of Scotland. These islands are notorious for their unforgiving environment, a place where the North Atlantic's fury is a constant companion. Perched atop the largest island, Moor, stands a lighthouse, a lonely sentinel against the crushing waves. For sailors, it was a beacon of hope. For its keepers, it was a prison of solitude. The date is December 26, 1900. The relief ship, the Hesperus, is making its routine supply run to the island. As it approaches, Captain Jim Harvey feels a growing unease. The lighthouse is dark. The flag, meant to signal that all is well, is not flying. A thick, unsettling silence hangs in the air, broken only by the cry of gulls and the crash of waves. Something is terribly wrong. Joseph Moore, a relief keeper, is sent ashore. He calls out for his colleagues, Thomas Marshall, James Duckett, and Donald MacArthur, but only his own voice echoes back. He finds the main entrance gate and the courtyard gate closed, but the lighthouse door itself is unlocked. Stepping inside, the scene that greets him sends a shiver down his spine. The clocks have all stopped. An overturned chair lies on the floor of the kitchen, as if someone had leaped up in a sudden panic. A half-eaten meal of salted mutton and pickles sits on the table, cold and untouched. The beds are unmade, a sign of a hasty departure. The initial search reveals more peculiar clues. Of the three heavy oilskin coats the keepers used for foul weather, only two are missing. Why would one man venture out into a ferocious Atlantic storm without his protective gear? The rules of the lighthouse were clear. One man must always remain inside. Why were all three gone? The mystery deepens as Moore and the crew of the Hesperus examine the lighthouse logbook. The log entries, penned by Thomas Marshall, are the only voice we have from the island's final days. The early entries are routine, noting wind direction and maintenance tasks. But then, on December 12th, the tone changes. Marshall writes of a severe storm, the likes of which he'd never seen in 20 years. He describes his fellow keeper, James Duckett, as being very quiet, and Donald MacArthur, a seasoned mariner known for his toughness, as crying. Crying? Why would a veteran seaman break down in tears? The entries become more frantic, describing the men praying and huddling together as the storm raged for days. The final entry, on December 15th, simply reads, "Storm ended, sea calm. God is over all." But weather reports from the surrounding area showed no record of any such storm between December 12th and 14th. The weather was calm, then a storm hit on the 16th. Was Marshall describing a storm of the mind, a shared delusion, or something far stranger? The relief crew was baffled. Their initial theory was simple but brutal. The men had been swept away. The west landing of the island showed signs of significant storm damage. Ropes and supply boxes, usually stored over 100 feet above sea level, were strewn about. Perhaps, the theory went, two keepers went down to secure the equipment during a sudden, violent swell. When they were washed away, the third man, against all protocol, ran down to help, only to meet the same fate. This became the official explanation, proposed by Robert Muirhead, the superintendent of the Northern Lighthouse Board who led the investigation. But this rogue wave theory has problems. Why was the third oilskin left behind? Why the untouched meal and the overturned chair? The keepers were experienced professionals who knew the dangers of the sea better than anyone. It seems unthinkable that all three would abandon their posts and put themselves in such a perilous position at the same time. The sheer height of the lighthouse and the clifftop makes the idea of a single wave washing all three men away seem almost impossible. With the official explanation feeling incomplete, other, darker theories began to circulate. Could it have been a case of madness? Isolation can do strange things to the human psyche. Perhaps a fight broke out. Maybe one keeper went mad, murdered the other two, and then threw himself into the sea. The overturned chair could suggest a struggle, but there were no signs of violence, no blood, and the men were known to be peaceable colleagues. Donald MacArthur did have a reputation as a brawler, but there's no concrete evidence of any conflict on the island. And then, we enter the realm of the truly strange. The isolation and the inexplicable nature of the disappearance naturally led to more outlandish theories. Local legends spoke of the Flannan Isles being a place of supernatural power, inhabited by spirits or little people. Could the keepers have been taken by something not of this world? Some have suggested sea monsters, ghost ships, or even alien abduction. The logbook entries describing MacArthur crying and the men praying could be interpreted as a reaction to something terrifying and otherworldly. While these theories lack any evidence, they speak to our deep-seated need to find an explanation, any explanation, for the unexplainable. The official investigation was hampered from the start. With no bodies, no witnesses, and a location battered by the elements, Superintendent Muirhead had little to go on. His inquiry was swift, concluding with the rogue wave theory, which neatly closed the case for the Northern Lighthouse Board. Extensive searches of the island and surrounding waters turned up nothing. Not a single body, not a scrap of clothing. Thomas Marshall, James Duckett, and Donald MacArthur had simply vanished from the face of the earth. For over a century, the Flannan Isles mystery has endured. It has inspired poems, operas, and countless articles. It remains a cornerstone of maritime folklore and a favorite among true crime and mystery enthusiasts. Even now, the story captures our imagination. The combination of complete isolation, the bizarre clues left behind, and the total lack of resolution makes it a perfect, chilling puzzle. It's a stark reminder that even in a world of technology and science, there are still corners of the earth that hold secrets. Some places, wild and remote, keep their mysteries locked away, and perhaps some are never meant to be solved. The silence of Eileen Moore is a testament to that. What do you think happened to the three keepers? A tragic accident, a violent crime, or something else entirely? Let us know your theories in the comments below. We post new videos daily, exploring the deepest and darkest mysteries from around the world. We're on a mission to reach 1,000 subscribers, and your support means everything to us. If you enjoyed this journey into the unknown, please hit that like button, subscribe to True Mystery, and ring the bell so you never miss an update. Thanks for watching, and stay curious.